Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, August 11th, and this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable over the past week. It was a pretty slow week, so hopefully this will be pretty quick in terms of a recap, but I'll go through some things that we've actually covered and discussed. So first thing is this morning, I think Glenn gave, I didn't actually get who asked the question, but I asked John Mueller a question on a YouTube live hangout, and about basically the question was, when you refer to Google's quality algorithms, can you explain how many algorithms you're referring to? And John Mueller pretty much wouldn't answer the question. I don't think he knows exactly. I don't think anybody specifically knows the actual number of algorithms. And he basically said that we tell people we have 200 factors when it comes to crawling, indexing, and ranking. That's the general statement they use. That's pretty typical for Google to say. But he also, let me just explain. He said in general we don't talk about the algorithms, how we are running them. Publicly we say we have 200 factors, yada yada. But in general, the number of algorithms is kind of an arbitrary number. Like one algorithm could be used to display letter in the search results. It's not something where counting the number of algorithms is a really useful thing to do. So it's interesting he says that, because whenever we ask, or I ask, or the community asks about, was there an algorithm update, because we see lots of ranking changes, and they go, oh, we have tons of algorithms, we're constantly making algorithm updates. But that could be a letter on the page. That could be changing the color from green to blue. That could be, using a new UI interface. That could be a bunch of different things. And that's Google's constantly making these changes, and they're making thousands of changes over the course of the year. But how many of those are actual algorithm updates, and I'm not sure. In any event, Google won't share that number of search quality algorithms that they have. I'm sure they have a nice number of them. But of course, when you look into it as a programmer, one algorithm can have many different factors or many different algorithms within it, so it's hard to actually quantify. I don't know if you received this, but the Google Search Console sent out verification emails in error to lots and lots of webmasters, and to lots and repetitive ones as well. If you got that, John Mueller said it might have been related to the beta Search Console. They're looking into it, but there's nothing you should do. Nothing was harmed. You'll be okay. Just delete all those emails and ignore that it ever happened, and he's sorry for the confusion and for all those emails in your inbox. Google did release new rendering and debugging help docs. You definitely take a look at that if you're interested in the rendering, and I have links to it over here. And it basically goes through how Googlebot renders and how to debug issues with Googlebot rendering. Google said if you have a no index on a canonical page, well, they actually explain how that works. In practice, Google assumes that the canonical on the page is a mistake, and they ignore that there's canonical if there's no index. But you can see how it's confusing, and actually John spends a significant amount of time in the video actually discussing the confusion around it and why Google goes ahead and ignores the canonical when there's no index. So it's pretty interesting to listen to. Googlebot generally does not pass or refer, because it generally hits specific URLs. So if it goes to a page like this and it sees a URL over here to Twitter, it's not going to actually click on it. It's just going to say there's a URL here, put an index, and crawl it later directly. And when you go to a page directly, it's actually obviously not passing refer. Google did say that sometimes when there's embedded content, you could check, it will go ahead and use refer data, and you can check that in your logs. But generally, it will not go ahead and pass refer data outside of that. So Google, for years, I think back in 2007, officially said they want you to block search result pages, either internal search result pages or sites like Ask.com, Bing, and so forth, from being indexed by Google, because having search result pages is not a good thing for linking people to search result pages. Is generally not a good thing for searchers. And John Mueller explained why on Twitter in 3 reasons, but there's obviously many more reasons. He said they make infinite spaces for crawling. They're often low-quality pages, and they often lead to empty search results off 404 pages. So this is the reason why Google doesn't like search results pages indexed, because, again, they're pretty much low quality. Moving on, here's an interesting one. A scholarship site went ahead and based one of their businesses, I guess, off of links, specifically PageRank, and they actually posted in red they have terminated their scholarship program, because there used to be a business around getting people to link to us, which helped our rankings, and now people won't link to us. These universities no longer will link to us because they're afraid of Google penalties and so forth. And because of that, our revenue has dwindled down to the point of $0 last month, and we're canceling this program because nobody's going to link to us and it won't help us. So that's one interesting take there. If you are on the AdSense side, you may have noticed significant drops on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday on your CPCs, your average CPCs. And that is because of some type of exploit that a ad buyer, according to Google, has figured out, and they blocked them. But people were saying their CPCs have dropped 50 to 70% on those days. Google said, and finally told us in a statement after we dug into it, over the past 48 hours, a number of AdSense publishers alerted us to an issue with declining cost per clicks on their ads on their sites. We were able to identify the cause of this issue quickly and resolve it quickly. Several ad buyers were using irresponsible campaign parameters, lowering the query coverage for specific creative types in some countries. The ad buyers have been blacklisted, blah, 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 and everything has returned to normal from what I've seen. It seems like they figured out a way to put in a destination URL that was invalid, get away with it, not be charged for clicks, increase their bids drastically high. I'm going to go into this, I think, later, maybe next week, and exactly how I think they went through and did this. Google wouldn't share it, but I have a source that actually gave me all the details, and I will probably be posting about it on Monday or Tuesday of next week. Very fascinating, and this is a way of getting search visibility across all these websites by faking the actual destination URL. Google AdWords has decided to match the new site links design that Google Organic Site Links actually launched a few weeks ago, and it's that carousel, tappable button type of UI, as you can see over here. This is the new AdWords site links interface, and Google said typically there's a much higher click-through rate on those. Of course, that's a new UI, and that would be the case. The Keyword Planner tool, which shows you obviously keyword ideas, is actually showing keyword ideas for term OK Google, which is now going to go ahead and probably set off some devices, and I apologize, but basically this term is coming up in the ideas, and I guess what's happening is they're saying this term and then repeating the term when they actually do a search. I haven't had any official confirmation from Google on why that's the case, but it's very interesting. Bing has updated their ad quality policy, which will remove some non-performing ads. Specifically, Bing ads may decide to remove keywords or ads from our platform that have not shown any performance over a significant period of time. Bing ads may also choose to limit the amount of keywords uploaded or retained at a time, and those subject to this policy may see additional restrictions within sensitive categories such as weapons, pharmaceuticals, gambling, adult, and trademark categories. Mostly you should not see a significant impact on your results because, again, these are low-performing ads anyway, but just keep a heads up on that. Google My Business has launched a new feature for some business categories to actually add action URLs, which I'm calling it, basically for adding URLs to appointments, to URLs to order, like online ordering or make an online reservation and so forth. And if you are on those niches, you will see that in your Google My Business profile to modify that. In the UK, a government office named UK's Insolvency Service has shut down one firm that's masquerading or impersonating Google over Google My Business listings. I wish it would do this actually more often, but they don't, and it's hard for governments to patrol this. It's hard for Google to patrol this as well. In any event, I appreciate everybody listening to the Search Buzz video recap. Again, my name is Barry Schwartz. Thanks for all those watching live and commenting live. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Again, today is Friday, August 11th. See you guys next week. Bye.